Sveiki, mes sveikinomės kartu su Niraj Naik. Šiandieną tiesiog palikti jums trumpą žinutę apie SOMA kvėpavimą ir jo ypatumus, bei kodėl yra taip svarbu mūsų kasdieniniam gyvenime, mūsų kompanijose priimti vis naujus įrankius ir suvokti, kad maži pasikeitimai atneša didžiulius rezultatus. Todėl šiandieną aš labai esu dėkinga, kad mes turim tokį svečią kaip Niraj Naik ir norim pakviesti jį pasidalinti apie mokslą, kas yra už SOMos atradimo ribų, apie muziką, ką jisai kuria ir daug kitų specifinių dalykų. So hello Niraj, thank you for being with us and super grateful. You are a dear friend of us, first of all.
Yeah.
And a great inspirator for my work and retreats and everything what we're doing with the companies. It's really brings so many beautiful outcome in personal and company's life. So I wanted to ask you about SOMA Breath, as it's becoming brighter and broader and people get to use it more and more. What is the science behind SOMA?
That's a big question. So SOMA Breath is really a pharmacy of breathing techniques based on pranayama, which is the oldest school of breathing practices that we have. Comes from yoga, and all the techniques are designed to just improve your life in various ways. If you think everything you go to a pharmacy for, there's a breathing technique for it, for like lowering your blood pressure, to even switching on like more focus or sleep, or unblocking your nose, or or having a psychedelic experience, or having a outer state experience. So there's a different breathing technique for almost everything you can imagine, because the breath is something we take for granted. It runs on autopilot, but it also is something we can consciously control. And because of that, it gives us control over things we thought we had no control over.
So when people say, I don't have time for it, what would you suggest?
Well, it depends on what you don't have time for. So there's different types of practices and techniques. A lot of breathing techniques happen just mindfully throughout the day. They don't take any time at all. It's just the mindful breathing and becoming aware of things like breathing through your nose rather than your mouth during the day, or, checking which nostrils are more dominant to switch to whatever you want, or keeping it in balance. And so these sorts of practices you can do throughout the day and they don't take any time. But if you want to do one of these deep dive psychedelic experiences, you can do 30 minutes to an hour and you can have this incredible mind trip that takes you in an incredible journey of self-discovery and also healing emotional trauma and things like that.
And also people find a lot of answers even in daily life. Like I'm talking to many companies and the leaders of it, and they say, oh, thank you. We just had 20 minutes breath work and suddenly I found the answer on the problem that we couldn't solve for a month.
Inspiration means to breathe in.
Yes.
So when you breathe in
the
right way, in the right sequence, you get very inspired.
So what's happening with the body meantime we are holding breath or breathing rhythmically? What is exactly happening that we have these outcomes as a better sleep, calmer, seeing bright, like more clear? What's happening inside?
So the sleep techniques are all about turning on your parasympathetic nervous system. So when you breathe out twice the length of time as you breathe in, you turn on the parasympathetic. Or if you just extend your exhalation, you turn on parasympathetic, and that's good for sleep. For like mental clarity, a lot of people benefit from our meditation techniques of the breath meditations, where you breathe with the music and hold your breath. And these techniques, they shift your conscious state slightly. So we did a study with Cambridge University that showed these altered states you can get into with the breath, and how it's very much similar to things like psychedelics like psilocybin or ketamine and things like that that people are using right now to get into these peak states. And they showed how just in a few minutes, like 22 minutes, you can get a very profound, almost psychedelic experience, right? But longer doses get you into these very deep outer body, like DMT-like experiences. Here you can get lots of insights, deep inspiration. You can learn a lot about yourself. But if you want to just be focused in the moment, right? We're actually 3 people in a day. We're our left nostril, our right nostril, and both nostrils at the same time. And when our left nostril is more active, it means our feminine brain is active, the right side of the brain, which is more introspective in the thoughts and more creative, right? Not so focused.
Yeah.
And the right nostril, when that's more active, that's connected to your left brain. And that is your masculine brain, which is more single focus, and it's your sympathetic nervous system. And it's more, it's actually Surya, it's named after the sun. So it's getting stuff done. So if you want to be focused, you need to turn on your right nostril rather than your left. And you can tell if you go into daydream mode, which nostril is more active, and you'll be able to tell what personality you are in. But when both nostrils are on at the same time, that's Shushumna Nadi. That's when you're in the perfect state for deep meditation. So there are techniques you can do to manipulate your nostril dominance, to turn on focus, turn on relaxation, digestion, creativity, even meditation.
And this is what I like about, like, to close our conversation in this, but the track of like a 20-25 minutes track in Soma, you can get a little bit of everything. So it's like holding the breath, you know, also listening to the most amazing music that you are creating with so many beautiful artists. And you're using, I heard, a lot of healing techniques through the sound. What is that, and how people receive it without not even knowing it? They enjoy it, first of all, but they see the music is something happening in it. Yeah. So what is exactly? I know you are adjusting with a megahertz, which are healing, realigning the nervous system. Do you use this? How do you?
Yeah. So the first most important thing is the music's going to be amazing. And music itself, just different chord progressions, vocals, you know, melodies, they can hit your soul. So I write music that really connects with that essence. And it's like it takes you on an emotional journey itself. Yeah. Now, in some tracks, we put in brainwave entrainment. So these are pulses of like frequencies that change your state of consciousness. But what I've realized is actually the number one way is through the breath. You don't need all this fancy technology. Just a breath and really cool music with a rhythm. That's all you need.
All you need.
Simple.
Thank you once again, Niraj, for being with us. Aš labai dėkoju šitą galimybę, kad mes pirmiausia turim SOMA sąmoningo kvėpavimo kursus lietuviškai, dėka Niraj Naik. Ir aš kviečiu tikrai pasinerti į šitas visas galimybės savo gyvenime, pasiimti į savo rankas savo kvėpavimą ir priimti naujas galimybės, kuriant savo realybės. Iki pasimatymo ir sėkmės mums visiems. Iki.